In this video, we're going to review subtracting integers. I'm going to start off by looking at a definition for subtraction, which in elementary school is usually taught as takeaway. And I put question marks behind that because we need to take a look at how that definition is going to change as we progress up into higher levels of math. So we're going to think about it using counting signs. If I have a subtraction problem like 7 minus 4 and I view it as takeaway, I can look at it as saying I have like 7 positive signs. There's 7, and I'm going to take away 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's 4 of them. If I take it away, I get the answer 3. So 7 minus 4 is 3. No problem. If I get down to 5 minus 2, I could do the same kind of thing. I could say Johnny has 5 cookies. Sally took 2 away. How many cookies does Johnny have left? That's kind of a more typical elementary type way of looking at it. But I'm going to look at counting signs here. If I have the number 5, that's represented by 5 positive signs. And I'm trying to take 2 away. Not a problem. I take 2 away. I have 3 left. So my answer is 3. But when I get down to a problem like the next one, 3 take away 6. 3 minus 6. 3 subtract 6. Lots of different ways you could say it. But I start off with 3 positives. 1, 2, 3. Then it says take away 6. I have a problem. I can't take away 6 because I don't have 6 to take away. So what happens in math is when we start to progress into more difficult problems like this one, we can't really think about takeaway for our definition of subtraction because we can't do it. So what we have to do is we need to come up with a new definition for subtraction. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Our definition now is going to be subtraction equals adding the opposite. And I'm going to show you what that means. I have an example here, 9 minus 5. Originally, we would say 9 take away 5. But now we're going to take a look at it as if we are adding the opposite. So we have 9, the number 9 stays the same. We're going to change the subtraction to addition, and then we're going to take the opposite of that last number. Originally it was a 5. Now I'm going to make it a negative 5. That's the opposite of 5. So I have 9 minus 5 is the same thing as 9 adding the opposite of 5, negative 5. And we're going to prove that this works by using the counting signs. If I originally had 9 minus 5, I have 9, that's a positive 9, so I have 9 positives, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm going to subtract 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could subtract those and say that I have the answer 4. But let's take a look at it with our new method. I have positive 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to add 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember that our negative positive pairs are called our zero pairs because a positive and a negative basically go together to wipe each other out. They become 0. So all of these wipe out, and what I'm left with on this side is 4 positives. So I still get the answer 4, which goes to show that when I'm subtracting a number, adding its opposite is going to give us the result that we're looking for. So going back to the original problem that we were having trouble with, we said 3 subtract 6 on the first page. We said, hey, we can't do that. We can't subtract 6 from 3. But if we use our new definition, adding the opposite, that gives me a way to work the problem. So I'm going to change 3 subtract 6, and I'm going to change that into our adding the opposite format. So I'm going to take the 3, as it originally was. I'm going to add, now instead of adding a 6, I'm going to add the opposite of 6, which is negative 6. Negative 6. Now I can work the problem. I have 3 positives, and I'm going to add to that system 6 negatives. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My plus minus pairs cancel out. They become 0. And whatever's left becomes my answer. 3 negative. So I get the answer, negative 3. I could prove this by using the number line. If I have a number line, here's 0, I'm going to move, this says 3 minus 6 or 3 add negative 6. Either way, I'm going to go to 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. When I stop there, I'm now going to move to negative 6. Well, I'm not going to move to negative 6, but I'm going to move left 6 because negative means left. So I was originally at positive 3. Now I'm going to move left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I end up at negative 3, which confirms my answer down here. Okay, so let's practice this. Let's review a little bit. Instead of saying subtraction is takeaway, we're now going to say subtraction is adding the opposite. So when I'm working problems, something I can say to myself to help me to remember that is same, change, opposite. I keep the first number the same, I change the subtract to add, and then I use the opposite of the next number. So the first example I've done for you, negative 6 subtract negative 5. This is no longer going to be takeaway. This is going to be adding the opposite. So I keep the negative 6 the same. I change the subtraction to addition. And then I take the opposite of negative